श्रीगुरुभ्यो नमः. शारदां चन्द्रमौलीशं रत्नगर्भगणेश्वरं शङ्करं चर्षशृङ्गेशं तुङ्गां लोकगुरून् भजे. शास्त्राध्यपारदृश्वानं संगहीनं तपोनिधिं भजे श्रीभारतीतीर्थगुरुं भद्रोहदायकं. श्रुतिसारविदं शान्तं शिष्यवात्सल्यसेवधिं ब्रह्मनिष्ठं भजे भक्त्या विधुशेखरभारतीम्. व्यासाय विष्णुरूपाय व्यासरूपाय विष्णवे नमो नमो वै ब्रह्मनिधये वासिष्ठाय नमो नमः. बालाय नीलवपुषे नवकिङ्किणीकजालाभिरामजघनाय दिगम्बराय शार्दूलदिव्यनखभूषणभूषिताय नन्दात्मजाय नवनीतमुषे नमस्ते. जटाधरं पाण्डुरङ्गं शूलहस्तं कृपानिधिं सर्वरोगहरं देवं दत्तात्रेयमहं भजे. Offering my namaskaras to the Pada Padmas of the Upai Jagadgurus. We are continuing our discussions of Vedanta topics such as Manisha Panchaka in the Śrīmad Bhāgavata, through the Śrīmad Bhāgavata. So yesterday we have talked about the Bhāgavata Mahatmya, the relationship of Bhakti and Jnana, so on and so forth, the obstacles to Bhakti fructifying, how to overcome them. Then my co-speaker Raja Ramanji had also mentioned about the Kapilopadesha, I think, yeah. So now we are going to be looking at one particular adhyaya today. This occurs in the Seventh Skandha. As soon as we say the Seventh Skandha, we think of Prahlāda Charitra. This is incidentally a conversation that was had by Prahlāda. So in the Seventh Skandha, it starts with Prahlāda Charitra. The Rakshasa Samhara happens in the 7th, 8th and 9th adhyayas. The avatar of Narasimha ends in the 9th adhyaya. After that, in a couple of adhyayas, the story of the Tripurasura Samhara by Shiva is written. Of course, since this is a Purana glorifying Vishnu, Shiva was able to kill the Tripurasuras only with Vishnu's help. That is normal, no problem there for us. So, and then after that, Narada Maharshi starts, because all of this is being told by Narada Maharshi to Yudhishthira. So Yudhishthira asks in the beginning of the 7th Skandha, the Bhagavan you have described until now is supposed to be impartial. He does not have Raga Dvesha, he does not have any favorites. Then why does he keep killing Rakshasas and protecting Bhaktas? So then Narada Maharshi starts explaining that there is actually these two Jaya and Vijaya were there, they got a Shapa, so on and so forth. So in this sequence, Narada Maharshi is still narrating to Yudhishthira, and in the middle these Varnashrama dharmas start coming. What should a Grahastha do? What should a Sannyasi do? What should a Brahmachari do? These kinds of dharmas come. So after talking about how the process of Atmajnana should happen. So basically you do laya of Prithvi into Jala, Jala into Tejas, Tejas into Vayu, Vayu into Akasha, Akasha into Mahat, Mahat into Ahankara, Ahankara into Mahat, Mahat into Prakriti, Prakriti into Paramatma, like this sequence is given. And then in the end, the adhyaya ends with such a statement that Kotasthe Dacha Mahati Tad Avyakte Akshare Chatad Itti Aksharataya Atmanam Chinmatram Avasheshitam. So through doing all of this, you should realize that the Atma is only Chinmatra. All these Panchabhutas, Prakriti, these do not factor into the Atma. Atma is alone, without a second. And Evam Jnatva, here also, having known such a Tattva, Advayaha Atha Viramet, Dagdhayo Nirivanalaha. Having known this, Viramet, you should cease from action, cease from karma, basically take up sannyasa. Here we should realize that why is sannyasa prescribed for those with jnana? Right, what is the need? We see, because if you have jnana, you will no longer get karma. Regardless of what you do, you will not accrue any karma. So why should sannyasa be taken? Here Bhagavad Pada explains in many places through the Gita Bhashya, and in fact Krishna Paramatma also says that karma and jnana do not and cannot mix. Even if a jnani does karma, you cannot call it karma. Because karma is something done for a purpose. And it is something done with a sense of doership. So for both of these to happen, you should have ajnana. Without ajnana, you will not have a sense of doership. Without ajnana, you will not seek something. Because what do we seek? We seek pleasure, we seek to get rid of sorrow. That is the reason why we act in anything. That only happens when you have ajnana, thinking that you do not have pleasure and sorrow is coming to you and going, and the pleasure and sorrow are two things that you are suffering through. Only when you have ajnana, the state of mind is there. For someone who has permanent abidance in Ananda, there is no more reason to act at all. There is no impulse to act. Just as once you have finished eating and you are full, will you eat? There is no more need to eat. Right? Whether for taste or for hunger, there is no more need to eat. In the same way, a jñānī cannot act. But then some jñānis do act. We do see that many jñānis do act. Krishna himself is acting. Then that is why Bhagavan does not call that karma. He calls it loka sangraha. That doesn't even count as a karma for the jñāni, because the jñāni is not seeking to attain anything. The jñāni, if the jñāni is acting as though he is continuing what he is doing before. Why is he continuing? For the sake of other people. For me it doesn't matter anyhow. They cannot stop yet, so they might as well see what is supposed to be done. That is the mindset of the jñāni. So here they have told that. So jñātva advayaha atha viramet. The person will become advaya after that. There will be no second entity. And how does this happen? Dagdhayo nirva analaha. This is a nice statement. Because we get the question. See, if he is advaya, there is no second object. Jnana is obtained through the mind, right? You have to do Mahavakyartha Vichara and then you have to understand. If you are understanding with the mind is also there. So how can it be Advaya? That is the here. Dagdhayo nirva analaha. Fire has a habit that it will burn its own origin. So the power of Jnana is such that it will arise from the mind, but it will burn everything from there. So the mind, after Jnana, the mind will not remain. That is Dagdhayo nihi eva analaha. Like fire which burns its own source. Right, the fire comes out of the wood, and after some time the wood itself is eaten by the fire, like that. So then the question comes, someone who has completely crossed over all kinds of ajnana, someone who is completely like this fire which has burnt its own source, he is Advaya. What does someone like that look like? What would such a person be like is the question. So there Narada Maharshi starts telling the dharmas of a sannyasi. So here Atrapyudaharantīnam itihāsam purātanam. Here, Narada Maharshi is saying, here there is an anecdote that I am wishing to convey. Itihāsam purātanam. Itihāsa means an anecdote, a story that has happened before. Prahlādasya ca samvādam muneir ājagarasya ca. This is a conversation that happened between Prahlāda and the Muni. The Visheshana, the qualification they have given for this Muni is Ajagara. Ajagara means a python. Ajagara means a python. So an Ajagara Muni means a Muni who is like a python. In the 24 Gurus of the Avadhūta that are told later on, it is told about the python that the python has one habit. Pythons are very strong and thick. They will swallow an animal whole. They don't have teeth designed to bite. They have teeth, but they don't have teeth that can bite. So even if it is a buffalo, they have the capacity to unhinge their jaws, swallow it whole and then close it. They will swallow it and it will sit there until that animal is digested. It won't go hunting, it won't try. Even if an animal walks by, it won't eat. It won't try to choke it. So that is the nature of a yogi. He should eat to sustain the body for now. And he puts 4 chapatis. This is very nice. Is there a 5th one? He should not look. If his stomach is full with 4, you leave it. Until you are hungry again, there is no need to seek out food. They tell this for food, it applies to all other necessities of life as well. Right? Otherwise what happens is there is one saying in Telugu, I think it is there in another, Kaupina Samrakshanartha Mayam Patatopaha. You heard that? Okay, so one guru and a shishya were there. This guru is a sannyasi of this kind. So he doesn't have 2 kaupinas are there. So once he had to go somewhere, the extra one he gave to a shishya and said, you look after this until I come back. So the shishya sat very diligently guarding that kaupina, because he was reminded, kaupina antah kalu bhagyavantaha, he was reminded of that. So he was diligently guarding it. One day he saw that there is a rat, and he went, if this rat comes and bites my guru's cloth, then it will go bad, my guru told me. So how to get rid of a rat? You should get a cat. He got the cat. What to do for the cat? The cat won't live for long if I don't feed it. Let's get milk. Where will milk come from? Let's get a cow. A cow will not be there alone. It should have a bull also. I got a bull. The cow and the bull are not practicing brahmacharya. The calf also was born after some time. Now I have to feed all these people. Might as well use the bull for something. He bought one plot of land. Then the bull started plowing the land. Then he said, this is all too much to manage on my own. We need one CEO for this company. Let's get married. He got married also. Then he got married. He also got children. Then for those children he had to pay school fees. So he started doing a job. Basically the guru came back. What was once an empty kutira is now a 3-story bungalow with a flat next to it. He said, what is all this? Why did you do all this? The Shishya told, Kaupina Samrakshanartham ayam patatokaha. For that one cloth, all of this is necessary, unavoidable. Unavoidable costs. So it should not turn into that. Right. So that is why Rajagara Vritti is told. You take whatever is necessary. Until everything that is necessary runs out, you don't seek the next thing. Right? That is what is told here. So Munaya Rajagarasya cha. Here in Bhagavata, they do not tell us who this Muni is explicitly. Who is this Muni that is sitting like this, that is going to be talking with Prahlāda? They don't tell us. However, in the first skandha, all the avatars of Bhagavan are listed out, starting from Chaturbhuja Narayana, Dashavataras of course, then all the Amshavataras, Pruthu, Narada, Rishabhadeva, all these are there. In the middle of that, Shashtham Atrayer Apatyatvam Vrutaha Prapto Nasuyaya Anvikshiki Malarkaya Prahlādadibhya Uchivan. This is what is told there. Shashtham, the sixth avatar of Bhagavan in this list, Atrehe Apatyatvam Vritaha, having become the son of Atri, Anasuyaya Praptaha, having been obtained by Anasuya, Alarkaya Prahlādibhyaha, to Alarka and Prahlāda and others means Yadu and Yadu, Kartavirya, Arjuna, etc. Anvikshakim, usually Atmikshakim means Dandaniti, but here it means Atmavidya. Uchivan, he taught it. So who is this? Dattātreya, right? The teacher of Alarka, the son of Atri and Anasuya, the jñāna avatar of the Trimurtis, but specifically Mahavishnu. Dattātreya is the form of the Trimurtis, but specifically he is looked at as Mahavishnu. So that is there. So you should understand that here this is Dattātreya, because it is told there, Prahlādadibhyaha, Anvikshakim Uchivan, he taught Prahlāda, etc. So here this is the only place in Śrīmad Bhāgavata where Prahlāda is being taught, besides Narada of course, besides Narada Maharshi, but here Prahlāda is being taught. So this Muni is Dattātreya. So here Narada Maharshi, to show the state of the jñānī, who is not even bound to follow Laukika Varnashramas. That is to say, even the dharmas of the sannyasi are not particularly binding for him. Right? The dharmas of the sannyasi are what we call smarta karma. So the sannyasa is done of shrauta karma. Smarta karma still applies. Whatever dharmas are told for the sannyasi still apply. Trishavarasnana, Bhikshatana, these are all dharmas for the sannyasi. So although the jnani becomes a sannyasi, these rules still apply. So then, this is the one more step beyond that, wherein, as I said, the sannyasi following these smarta dharmas is only, as I said, for loka sangraha, for the sake of others. Because again, if I say that the jnani is following these dharmas, means, as I said, these dharmas, no dharmas or adharmas apply to a jnani. So then why is a sannyasi who is a jnani still following this? Means, as I said, for loka shiksha, to teach the world. So this is even one more step different, wherein even that is not necessary. The jnani is not allowed to do that also. I will roam the world, I will roam around, I will experience that Brahmananda everywhere, wherever I go, so it doesn't really matter until the body falls. This is what we call an Avadhūta. Right? These days the word Avadhūta is being used to refer to anyone who does crazy things. If he has one beard and when he doesn't even have to have a bottu, he can look however he wants and do whatever he wants. If people think he is a guru, they'll say if he does anything crazy, he'll say he is an Avadhūta. Avadhūta is not an excuse for improper action. If he is actually a jñānī, he has the right to be an Avadhūta. Everyone who claims to be spiritually enlightened and transgresses Shastra is not to be called an Avadhūta. There is a fine line between the two that you should be conscientious to recognize. It is not that you should bind all jñānīs saying you should behave only as I expect you to. It is also not the case that regardless of how they behave, we should say that they are an Avadhūta. There is a line in the middle wherein we will see how the Avadhūta speaks to Prahlāda. We will see how the Avadhūta speaks. So here Prahlāda sees one person, Tam Shayanam Dharopasthe Kaveryam. So Prahlāda came across this Muni sleeping on the ground on the banks of Kaveri. Dharopasthe means on the bare ground. And Kaveryam, on the bank of Kaveri, Sahyasanuni, the same mountain range that we are in right now, Sahya Parvatas, on the peaks of one Sahya Parvata, he saw that. Rajasvalais tanudeshir nimudhamala tejasam. He is shining with tejas, but that tejas is slightly hidden by the mud that is covering his body. Means he is not taking care of taking bath or cleansing himself or anything. Dadarsha Lokan Vicharan Loka Tattva Vivitsaya. Why did Prahlāda go there? Loka Tattva Vivitsaya Lokan Vicharan. He was roaming the world to know the ways of the world. He is a king, right? He also said, I don't want anything, but Bhagavan said, you have to rule. You have to rule the Asura Samrajya. So to do that, obviously, you have to go around, you have to see the world, you have to know things. So he was roaming the world like that. In that situation, he saw this Dattātreya Swami. Vritaha Amatyaih Katipayaih, with a few ministers around him. Prahlāda Bhagavat Priyaha. He was dear to Bhagavan. Usually such people will be found to him. Karmana Akritibhir. And what kind of a person did he see? Karmana Akritibhir Vacha Lingaihi Varnashramadibhihi Navidanti Janaha Yam Vai Sosa Viti Naveticha Tannatva. He did namaskara to that person whose nature is how Janaha Navidanti. People do not realize who he actually is. Because if you have to realize what should he do, what should you use to know him, karmana, based on what work he is doing, you should be able to say he is like this. The work he does not give us insight into his true nature. Akritivihi, the way he dresses, the way his body language is, the way his aharya is, that will give us some insight into who he is. That also is not useful in discerning his true nature. Then varnashramadibhihi lingaihi, whatever marks or whatever specificities are associated with a particular linga or a particular varna, that also is not particularly seen to discern what his true nature is. Then asau saha, this person is that, he is not even recognizable. That person who is of such a nature and therefore unknowable by other people, such a person Prahlāda saw, natva, did namaskara to him, abhyarchya, respected him, padayoha sharasa sprashan. He touched his feet, Dattatreya's feet with his head, and vivitsuhu iramak prakshit. Vivitsuhu means jñāsuhu, desiring to know this, he asked, aprakshit. Mahabhāgavata asuraha. He asked, bibharshikāyam pīvānam. You have a very strong body. It is not an emaciated, thin body. Your body is robust. Pīvānam kāyam bibharshit. Sodhyamo bhogavan yatha. Just as someone who is engaged in lots of work, he is experiencing many pleasures, just as such a person's body would be very strong and robust, your body looks like that. Vittam chaiva udyamavatam bhogo vittavatamiha. So, bhoga can only be experienced by those who have money. Money will only come for those people who are engaged in some work. You don't seem to be doing either of these, but your body looks like those people who are experiencing bhogas and doing work. That is what he is asking. Abhoginaha ayam tava vipradehaha piva yataha tadvada. You tell me that. And bhogino khalu dehoyam piva bhavati. Nanyata. Only a bhogi's body will be robust like this. Nate shayanasya nirudyamasya brahmannu hartho yata eva bhogaha. Seeing the way you are lying here, laying on the ground, I don't think you are doing anything that would then culminate in your experiencing things. So how are you like this? Yataha tadvada. You tell me that. One clause is there. Vada naha kshaman chet. If I am worthy of hearing it, please let me know how this is possible. Then kavihi kalpaha nipunadrika chitrapriya kathaha samaha lokasya kurvatah karma sheshe tadvikshita api. So, see, Prahlāda is asking, why are you like this? But note how Prahlāda is describing the person in front of him. Kavihi, you are wise. Kalpaha, you are samartha. Nipunadrik, you see things properly. Chitrapriya kathaha. See, Chitrapriya katha, how should we understand this statement? Again, we need the Vyakyakara. Chitraha, priyaha, lokaranjakaha, kathaha, yasyasaha. He whose pastimes are extremely dear to the world, pleasing to the world. That person is Chitrapriya katha. Then, Chitrapriya katha, samaha. You see Brahman everywhere. Right? Nirdosham hi samam brahma in Gita. Samaha does not mean Vidya Vinaya Sampane Brahmane Gavahastani, means I will call them all for food and save them the same food. Brahmana gets the same food, cow gets the same food, elephant gets the same food, dog gets the same food. That is not sama. Then what does sama mean? Panditas sama darshinaha. They see sama in those. What is that sama? Nirdosham hi samam brahma. They see Brahman equally in all of these. The only difference in these is the upadhi, not the atma. You are such a person who sees it like this, is what Prahlāda is saying. Samaha. And lokasya karma kurvataha tad vikshitapi. Vikshita, you are a witness to karma kurvataha lokasya. You are a witness to the world that is doing karma. But sheshe, You are lying on the ground without doing anything. So basically he has asked, how are you like this? But he has also very accurately told the state of the person in front of him. Why was he able to say this? Dattātreya Swami himself will tell later on. Then what is the question here then? If he knows, he has very beautifully described Dattātreya's true nature, then what is the point of the question? The question of Prahlāda is, how is the body like this? If you are such a person, how is the body like this? Is the question. Because usually someone like this will have been doing some upavasas, he won't be eating much, he won't be doing anything. If he is following niyamas, that is Prahlāda's question. If you are a jñānī who is still following the dharmas of a sannyasi, and you are following all these niyamas, your body should not look like this. So although you are a jñānī and such a vidwan and all of that, why is your body looking like this is the question. So here, Narada Vivacha, Sa itham daityapatina pariprushto mahamunihi smayamanaha tam abhyaha tadvagamrita yantritaha. So that Mahamuni, that Rishi, having been asked this way by Daityapatina, by the king of Rakshasas, until 8th Adhyaya of Bhāgavata Mahapurāṇa, Daityeshwaraha means Hiranyakashipu. After 7th Adhyaya, it means Prahlāda. And one change of power happened there. Not a peaceful change of power, but a change of power happened. No, that happened. So Daityapati is here Prahlāda. And Smayamanaha, he smiled to himself. He is pleased with the question. Smayamanaha, if he doesn't have any connection with the world, why did he even bother replying that which is called Mukavata? He should not show that he knows anything. Why did he respond? Tadvad amrita yantritaha. Prahlāda's words were so sweet. Of course, he is the Bhakta, this is Bhagavan. Of course, he is moved to respond. He is moved to respond to that. So there, Brahmana Vacha, he told, Vededa Masurashreshta Bhavan, Nan Arya Sammataha. You know what you are asking. Bhavan Veda. You know the answer to this question. Why? Because you are Arya Sammata. Your actions are those that dharmic people applaud. Dharmic people approve of your actions. Therefore, you should know this. And there is one more quality is also there. Ihoparamayur nrnam padani adhyatma chakshusha. Yasya narayana devaha bhagavan hridgatas sada bhaktya kevalaya ajñānam dhunoti dhvantam arkavat. You know this for one more reason, that Narayana Devaha Bhagavan, that Paramatma Śrīmad Narayana hridgatas sada, sitting in your heart, bhaktya kevalaya, only due to your bhakti. Here bhakti is jnana bhakti. Bhaktya kevalaya ajñānam dhunoti. He has removed all ajñāna in your heart. Dhvantam arkavat, like the sun removes darkness. Therefore you know what you are asking. There is no ajñāna left for you also. You are also a jñānī. Because I know that Narayana is in your heart. He told, right? Tesham adityavadñānam prakāshayati tatparam. I will bhāsayami. Tesham ajñāna sambhutam hritstham jñānāsinatmana shritva. Nashayami atma bhavastaha. Tesham sadayuktanam bhajadam pritipurvakam dadami buddhiyogam tam. Right? And then Nashayami atma bhavastaha jñānadīpena bhāsvata. I will destroy their ajñāna sitting in their heart with the deepa of jñāna. Prahlāda is such a jñānī. So now he is saying here that Narayana is sitting in your heart and removing all your ajñāna. Therefore you know what you are asking. The tattva, basically what is it? The tattva of a jñānī that you are asking about is something that you know because you yourself are a jñānī. You are a dharmic and you are a jñānī. Therefore you should know this already. Anyhow I will tell. Athapi brumahe. Anyhow we will tell. Brumahe. This is called royal plural. Royal bahuvachana. Pujayam bahuvachanam it is called. Prashnastava rajan yathashritam. संभावनीयो हि भवान् आत्मनशुद्धिमिच्छताम् तृष्णया भववाहिन्या योग्यैः कामैरपूरया कर्माणि कार्यमाणोऽहं नानायोनिषु योजितः. Here Dattātreya is Paramatma Ajñāni. However, here he is speaking as though he was once an Ajñāni. So he is showing in his response the journey from once an Ajñāni to now becoming a Jñāni. Although this was not the state of Dattātreya at all, for the sake of teaching. Because he has told here, Bhavan Shuddhimichhatam Sambhavaniya. He is telling Prahlāda, anyone who wishes to get Chitta Shuddhi, anyone who wishes to cleanse themselves, they should all respect you, O Prahlāda. What is the point of this statement? It is saying that everything I am teaching now is not just for you, it is for them also. So whoever wishes to get Chitta Shuddhi or Jnana, the responses I am giving to you are in fact applicable and upadaya yogya for them also. So he is giving the narrative that is yogya for all of us, not just for Prahlāda. So he says, once upon a time, Aham karmani karyamanaha. I was made to do actions. Made to do means svabhavastu pravartate, right? Karyate hyavashak karma sarvah prakriti jairgunaihi. Prakriti, ajnana, forces people to do karmas. You cannot stop doing karma even if you wish, as long as you have ajnana. So in that way, karmani karyamanaha. Why were you doing karma? Trishnaya. You have some desire. You only due to desire you act. Why did you have to? What is the nature of that desire? Bhavavahinya. It flows through samsara. What is the only thing that connects one birth to another? The desires. The desires and the samskaras that make you do more karma, that make you take one more birth, that make you take more samsaras, that make you do more karma. So what is it that flows from birth to birth? This trishna, the samskaras of desire, of raga dvesha. So bhavahinya yogyih kameir apuraya. Even if the desired objects are dharmic only, even so it doesn't get satiated. Right? If he says, I will do one yaga and I want sarga, will he stop with only one yaga? I did one yaga, sarga is there, let me take leave for the rest of my life. At least in the next janma itself, he will start doing karma again. Right? That is why Bhagavan says that Traividya mam samavah puta papaha. Tetam bhakta sargaloka mishalam kshede punya martiloka mishanti gatagatam kama kama labhante. They go dekam. So that is why even, and they are not doing any adharma. They are doing vedokta karma only. But because they are doing with kama kamaha, they desire objects. Therefore, they keep doing is going and coming. That is why it is told here that yogyahi kamehi. Even if the object of desire is proper only, still this trishna is apura. It doesn't dry up. It doesn't become satiated at any point of time. And therefore, because I did so much karma, nana yonishu yojitaha. I was born in so many different species. It is a nice padya. In the Amukta Malyada, Telugu Kavya that Krishnadevaraya wrote. In that, when Brahmarakshasa is speaking to one Bhāgavata, one great Bhakta, the Bhakta is doing Tattvapadesha to the Brahmarakshasa, and he tells, it is a very nice padya, I will give the English translation. We have been born, he is talking to the Brahmarakshasa, he says, we have been born as a Raja, we have been born as a beggar, we have been born as an elephant, we have been born as a mosquito, we have been born as a lion, we have been born as a deer, we have been born as a husband, we have been born as a wife. Do you know why we have been born so many times? Because we have never been born as a Bhagavad Bhakta, he says. Not being born as a Bhagavad Bhakta is why we have been born in so many different things. In that way, Nana Yonishu Yojitaha, I have been born in so many different species. Atrapi, in this also, once at some point of time, luckily, I got a human birth. How have they described the human birth? Svargapa vargayor dvaram tirashcham. From the state of an animal, if you come to this, I have obtained a human birth, that is Svargapa vargayor dvaram. It is the door to Svarga or Moksha. There is no situation in which you can go to both doors at the same time. You have to pick which one you want. Do you want Svarga? That also you will get through a human birth only, because only the human can do karma. Moksha also is a human birth only, because only the human can do tattva vichara. So I have, after a long point of time, yadrichaya, due to fate, at some point, prapitaha karmabhir brahman, being whirled around by my karmas, at some point I have come to this human birth. That is the gateway to either Svarga or Moksha. Why did you not take the door of Svarga? Because clearly he has taken the door of Moksha. Why did you not take the door of Svarga? Atrapi dampatinancha sukhaya anyapanuttaye karmani kurvatam drushva nivritto asmi viparyayam. I saw all these couples, dampatis. These basically grahasthas. Dampatis means grahasthas. I have seen all these people who have chosen the karma marga. Here grahasthas also means a karma marga. We are not talking about vividishus who are doing karmas in garhastya for chitta shuddhi. Not like karma. Karma neva samsiddhi mastita janakadeha. We are not talking about those people. We are talking about, we will see these people who are sukhaya anya apanuttaye. They are working for their own sukha and also anya apanuttaye. Sukhanya is dukkha. That which is other than sukha. They are these grahasthas who are sakamas are working 24/7 to get things that they like and get rid of things that they don't like. Karmanu kurvatam drashtva viparyayam nivritta asmi. I thought this is not particularly useful for me. Then here Dattātreya Swami makes a comment on this nature of humans for 2 or 3 shlokas. Nice shlokas. Sukham asya atmano rupam sarveho paratis tanuhu manas samsparsha jan drashtva bhogan swapsyami samvisham. So, see, the thing is, these people are also doing things for sukha. It is not that I don't want sukha. We discussed this yesterday, right? Everyone wants sukha. The difference is where you are trying to find it. Are you finding it externally or internally? So what are these people doing? or what am I doing, what have I chosen? Asya Atmano Rupam Sukham. Notice the Atma doesn't have Sukha. The Atma Swarupa is Sukha. The Atma is Sukha. Atmanaha Sukham Rupam. Atmanaha Rupam is Sukham. Seeing this, and how, one question is there, this may be the form of the Atma, but how do I make it available for experience? That is to say, how do I extend it such that it is available for me to experience? Sarveho paratis tanuho. Again, as I said, Bhagavata is crazy because tanuho means what? Body. Does it make sense? Sarveha, sarva iha. Iha is desire. Uparati means cessation from it. Letting go of all desires is body. Does it make sense? Then what does tanu mean? Tanoti iti tanuho. That which expands is a tanu. So here tanuho means that which causes that happiness to expand. Only if the Vyakyakara writes this, you will know. What did the Vyakyakara write here? Tanoti iti tanuho. Sarvakriya nivritto svatayeva prakashate ityarthaha. How do you make the Atmajnana or the Atmananda come forth nicely available for reception means? Iha nivritti, by letting go of all desires. I have done that. Why have you not sought desires externally? Because manas samsparshajan drishtva bhogan. All external bhogas are coming only because of the manas. Right? Regardless of how many bhogas are there around you, if your manas is not applied there, you will not get any happiness out of it. So therefore, what is the necessary corollary you have to make? Bhogas do not have ananda of their own accord. Only if we are applied to them, they are able to give ananda. Which means that ananda is not intrinsic to the bhogas. Then where is it? It is there in myself. So then why should I go outside? Is the question. So therefore, sapsyami. Therefore I am sleeping here. I am not interested in those bhogas. Iti etmanaha swartham santam vismritya. Having forgotten that this purushartha of the Atma, which is Ananda, is there in himself, Puman, the Jiva, Vichitram asati dvaite ghoram apnoti samsritim. Forgetting that the Atma's true nature is Ananda, where is the Jiva going? Samsritim apnati. Samsara. He is going into samsara. What is the nature of samsara? Vichitram. So many variations are there. Vichitram. And one more thing, asati dvaite. Bhagavata cannot be, Vyasa Maharshi cannot be more clear than this. Dvaite asati. Although Dvaita does not exist, Dvaita, although there is no true duality in the world, he has still managed to get himself tangled into this. He has managed this, the strength of this person's ajnana is such that he has let go of the purushartha that is already available to him, and he has managed to get himself tangled into something that does not even exist properly. Does not exist means, again we are seeing everything in front of us, mean does not exist in a singular form that is consistent. Right? That is why we say Bheda is Mithya, because Mithya, just to remind us, it is neither Sat nor Asat, means it is neither permanent nor is it non-existent. It is temporarily existent. That is the nature of Dvaita. That is why Dvaita Asati. This Dvaita, rather than looking at the singular Atma that is already with him. And here, Dattātreya Swami has given a very nice simile, Upama. Jalam ta udbhavaischannam hitva adnyaha jalakamyaya jagatrushnasu padhave mrugatrushna upadhavet yatha anyatra arthadrik swataha. So what does an Ajna do? The simile is given that there is water next to him. He is standing next to a lake. He is not seeing the water. Why? This moss, these plants that have come from the water are covering the water. The water is being covered by things that have been born through the water. In Manisha Panchaka, Tam bhasyaif pihitarka mandalanibham spurtim. Just as the sun is covered by the clouds that it itself is illuminating. If you are saying the cloud is covering the sun, how are you seeing the cloud? The sun's light is only illuminating the cloud, but yet the cloud is covering the sun. Which means the sun is actually not covered by the cloud. The sun is hidden from view to us, is what we mean. Because if the sun was actually hidden by the cloud, the sun should not make even the cloud shine. So it is our ajnana that the sun is not visible. In the same way, the Atma is hidden by the Jagat that has been created in the Atma. Right? That is what is said. Sadasanmaye Atma, Sadasanmaye Jagati. Atmani Sadasanmayen Jagat. We said that, right? the Jagat exists in the Atma. So this Jagat that is rooted in the Atma is covering up the Atma such that we are saying, I am not happy. Although happiness is always there. So in the same way here also, this water, this lake next to him is covered by moss and all kinds of plant life that are born from the water. So he is let that go. Jalam tad udbhavaihi channam. Water that is covered by its own products. Agnya, and Ajnani Jalakamya, he wants water. Where does he go? Mrigatrishna upabhavet. He is seen a mirage in front of him and is running there. What should we sum up the situation as? Anyatra artha drik. The artha is prayojana. He thinks that his purpose will be fulfilled elsewhere. Swataha anyatra. Swataha means swasmal anyatra. Not seeing that his desired goal will be found here, he is seeking it elsewhere. Swataha anyatra artha drik. He thinks that the thing to be obtained lies elsewhere other than himself. So now the same thing. There the river, here the Atmananda. There the thing that covers the river, here Ajnana that covers the Atma. Here the Jagat which is Mithya. Here the Mrigatrishnika that is Mithya. In this way the simile is going very nicely. So in this way Kriya Mogha Krita Kritaha. He does futile actions over and over and over again. Here we might get the doubt. How can you say that these actions are useless? I am hungry. I want to satisfy my hunger, so I ate. I am no longer hungry. That means my eating I have successfully had lunch, right? My lunch eating is successful. Whatever prayojana, whatever purpose I have decided to eat for, it has been served. Why does he say mogha karma? Moghani karma, mogham karma kritam, kriyaha mogha. Why does he say that these are futile? You are only talking about, as I said yesterday, these things are treating the symptoms, not the disease. So why are you eating? Don't say to get rid of hunger. Why should you get rid of hunger? Hunger causes you dukkha. To get rid of dukkha, you have to fill your stomach, so you are eating. So what is your actual goal? To get rid of dukkha. Or on the flip side, something has been made that you like, that you want to eat. So you want to get sukha from that. So you eat it because you think that sukha will be obtained through the eating of that. Has it given you actual sukha? What kind of sukha do you want? Do you say, I don't need to be happy for the rest of my life. Next 5 minutes chalta hai. After that, if I am not happy also, I don't mind. That is not what you are saying. You want happiness that is unending, not just unending, unparalleled, unsurpassed happiness. Because even if we have X happiness, if our neighbor has 2X happiness, Asuya will start. So that happiness also we don't want. We want unending, unsurpassed happiness. For that you are acting. That you are not getting, which is why regardless of how you act, your kriya is mogha, because it is not getting the intended result. It is not giving you the intended result that you, in the higher sense. So this being the case, Pashyami dhaninam klesham. You have told one more thing, right, Prahlāda? That to satisfy their bhogas they have to earn money. I don't want to earn money. Why don't you want to earn money? Same that what Bhagavad told in Bhajagovinda more or less, Dattātreya Swami has told here. So you should say the reverse actually. Bhagavad has repeated whatever Dattātreya Swami has told here. Pashyami dhainam klesham. I see all the troubles that these rich people go through. But there are also good people who are rich. I am talking about a particular category of rich people. Lubdhanam. They want to get even more and more wealth. Ajitatmanam. They have not been able to restrain their mind. Such rich people have many problems. Bhayad alabdha nidranam. They are unable to even sleep properly. Sarvataha atishankinam. Sarvato abhivishankinam. They doubt everything and everyone around them. Who all do they fear from? Rajataha, Chorataha, Shatroha, Swajanat, Pashupakshitaha, Arthibhyaha, Kalataha, Swasmat, Nityam Pranarthavad Bhayam. They fear so many things. First of all, Rajataha, income tax people will raid my house. Rajataha, Chorataha, next door neighbor will raid the house. Shatroha, those who don't like me will try to strike my financial assets. Then Swajanat, my father has money, I have 3 brothers, he will ask me to split it and I have to share the assets with those people. Swajanat, my relatives will want this money. Swajanat, Pashupakshitaha, I have to feed, or so Pashupakshita means, let us say you have a crop, the birds will come and spoil it, or the animal will come and spoil it, so you are worried about that. And then Arthibhya, some fellow will come asking for donations, I have to give to him. Kalataha, I might lose some over time. Kalataha means, you can think that maybe something will go over time. If we want to be a bit modern, we can say devaluation. Over course of time, right, 100 rupees then is not 100 rupees now. Rupee has lost value. What has caused this loss in value? Kala, time, the passage of time. So, due to all of this, swasmacha, he worries that he will spend it. Swasmarapi bhayam, he fears the loss of wealth even through himself. And that is what Bhagavad told. Putradapi dhanabhajam bhitihi. People who are wealthy will not even trust their own children. That is the case. In fact, there is a nice shloka. In this case, and many nice shlokas. In Bhartaraj that is there, right? There are 3 fates that money will have. Dhanam, bhoga, nashastisra, gatayo bhavanti vittasya. Money can be used in one of 3 ways. You can give, you can enjoy, or you can give. You can lose it. You can give, enjoy or lose. If you don't do option A or B, you will be forced into option C. If you don't give and you don't enjoy, then you will lose it. Even more nicely, they have told one more thing. There are 4 brothers. All of them love each other very much. Chatvaro dhana dayadaha. There are 4 people who are enemies of money. Dharmadni nrupa taskaraha. Dharma, fire, the king and thieves. These 4 are the sworn enemies of money. Why dharma? Do you know how much it costs to do a yaga? For one yaga, it is a large cost. Right? Or even for that matter, if you want to live a dharmic life at home, you want to follow achara, it takes money. Because to make the necessary vyavastha for all of that, you need to buy the necessary things, right? If you need to cook in muddy, but you also want to be able to do something else, you want to have clothes that you can hang somewhere, no one should touch it, all these things will come, right? If you want to live a life like that, you have to do all of that. You have to, for Devatarchana every day, Naivedya should be there, you should be able to get flowers and fruits and all of that. All of this is there. So, even living a normal dharmic life requires some monetary expense that a normal person does not have. What more if you want to do Vishesha Dharmacharana? You have to give dakshinas everywhere properly. Only today we are saying Godhanam Pratyamnaya is 50 rupees Samarpayami. We are doing that today. That was not the case back then. If you are doing Godhana, you have to get a proper go only. Right? Or at least, at the very least, that is why they have told you make a golden cow and you give that, because the cost will at least be the same. If you don't find a cow, you are in Australia somewhere, you can't find a cow, at least make one. That is why you said that. So in this way, dharma is one enemy of money. Dhara Agni Nrupa Taskaraha. Agni is any natural disaster. Nrupa, tax department. Taskara, people who steal. These 4 are the enemies of money, and all of them are very devoted to each other and they love each other. Chatvaro dhana dayadaha dharmagni nrupa taskaraha tesham jyeshtavamanena trayah kupyanti sodaraha. If you insult the first, the other 3 will have their vengeance on you. Meaning, if you don't devote your wealth to dharma, the other 3 will take your money. It's a very nice way of expressing it. So that is, we remember all these shlokas when you see these things. So, shoka, moha, bhaya, krodha, raga, klebya, shramadayaha, yennulasya nranam, jahyat spriham, pranarthayor budhaha. So, all these problems, shoka, moha, bhaya, krodha, raga, all of these come from 2 things. Prana arthayoho. Prana and money. Prana here means not to stay alive, but to live a good life. You want to live a comfortable life. This is one cause. Or forget about living comfortably, you want to earn money. These 2 things, if man has a strong desire for, all the aforementioned qualities will without fail have to come to him. So therefore I have decided that I don't want to earn much money. So then what do? We have decided why you are not doing karma and why you are not earning money. Why are you laying here not doing anything? And you have not answered my question. Why is your body stout and robust? Madhukara, we'll finish in 10 minutes. Madhukara Mahasarpo Lokesmin no Guruttamo. I have 2 great gurus in this world. Madhukara and Mahasarpa. Madhukara is a bee, honeybee. Mahasarpa is this Ajahara, this python. One clarification I want to make here. Here Dattātreya Swami said that Eto Guruttamo, they are my gurus. People have taken this fact that Dattātreya, these people had 24 gurus. In that there is one Vaishya also, there is one elephant, lion, tiger, jackal, all kinds of animals are coming. So therefore, why are you saying that a guru should be Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam? Is the tiger like that? Is the elephant like that? Was that prostitute like that? So therefore, all these lakshanas of gurus are all same story, Brahminical imposition, same excuse that they give. What we should understand here is Guruttamo means, it will be told later and clearly that Shikshita Vrittau. They taught me how to behave. I have learned some lesson from them that has taught me how to behave. It does not mean that I have gotten Brahmajnana from them. Dattātreya Swami nowhere has said that I have gotten Brahmajnana seeing the elephant, I have gotten Brahmajnana seeing that prostitute, I have gotten a Brahmajnana seeing that honeybee, I have gotten a Brahmajnana seeing that deer. That is not what he said. He says, Annashiksham Atmavrittam. I have learned how to behave seeing them. So this is not, this terminology of guru is not the guru who will release us from samsara. This guru just means they have taught me something. Right, in the Madhava Shankarati Vijay it is called Ekaksharasya api Guru Pradata. Even someone who teaches us a letter is called a guru. That kind of a guru this is. It is not going to be that Sadguru is this, I am worshipping the padukas of that elephant every day. That is not the kind of guru that we are talking about. So here also Guru Uttamam. Here it is written that in the Vyakhyakāra, Yayoho Shikshaya Vritta Paryalochanaya Vairagyam Paritoshancha Prapta Yat Shikshaya Vayam. Through their instruction of the honeybee and the python, I have obtained Vairagya and Paritosha, Tripti. What does Yat Shikshaya mean? They have come and taken lessons for him. You sit 3 hours a day, competitive exams, coaching, none of that happened. What does Shikshaya mean? Vritta Paryalochanaya. I sat down and thought about their behavior. Tesham Vritta means their behavior. I sat and thought about it. That was enough to teach me what I should do. Because many of these examples are not even positive examples. It is not like I should be like that. Many of these examples are I should not be like that. In fact, even between these two, the honeybee and the snake. Honeybee I should not be like. Snake I should be like is what Dattātreya will be telling. Viraga sarvakamebhya shikshito me madhuvratat. I have learned Parama Vairagya from the honeybee. Because Krichraptam madhuvat vittam hatva anyo haret patim. What does the honeybee do? It spends the entire day collecting drop by drop by drop honey. It stores it in the honeycomb, in the beehive. What does one person do? He will come, he puts smoke there, the bees go away and he takes all the honey. So all this work that he has put into amassing wealth goes in 1 second. That is what is told here. Patim hatva anyaha haret. Patim means the adhipati of that wealth, whoever is the master of that wealth. Anybody can come, push this fellow aside and steal whatever he has amassed. So I should not be like this is what I have learned from the honeybee. If the honeybee had just eaten the honey that it got immediately. Okay, actually to be fair, the honeybee has to swallow the honey and it has to go through some process. We are speaking theoretically here. If the honeybee had just used the honey as and when it got it, what would the hunter be able to steal? Nothing. So I should not amass wealth. All the effort that this honeybee has put very sincerely in amassing wealth is futile. So I have also learned from that trying to satiate my desires through money or other means is equally futile, because anyone can steal the means of that at any point of time. That is what I have learned from the Madhuvrata, the honeybee. What have you learned from the snake? Anihaha paritrishtatma yadruchopanatadaham nochet shaye bhahvahani mahahiro sattvavan. Anihaha, iha is desire, without any desires. Paritushtatma, I am satisfied. What are you satisfied with? Yadrichayopanatat. Through fate, whatever comes to me, I am fine with that. I am satisfied with whatever comes my way. Nochet, if I don't get anything also, shayo bahudunani, I just lay there for however many days it takes until something comes my way. I don't go out of my way to seek something out. I have learned this from Mahahihi, that large snake, the python. I have learned this from that. What is the main quality that is needed for this? Sattvavan. Sattvavan. Again, Sattvavan, what does this mean? Sattva Gunavana. Sattva means Bala, is it that? Vyakhyakāra is neatly written here. Dhairyavan. Sturdiness, firmness of mind. I don't get worried if I don't get something. I don't get happy if I get something. If it comes, I have it. Like a snake. You don't see a python going many distances, long distances to hunt the way these lions and tigers do. It will stay in the general vicinity. If something comes, it will swallow it and then it will lay there until it digests completely. I have learned that from the snake. And then now we have come to my diet. That is what you had asked about in the beginning. What are you eating? Kvachid alpam, kvachid bhuri bhunjayannam, svadu asvaduva. As I said, whatever comes my way. So sometimes a little. If a lot comes, a lot. Sometimes annam swadu asvadu. Whether it is good or not, I eat that. Kvachid bhuri gunopetam, guna hina mutak kvachit. Sometimes it has gunas, sometimes it doesn't have gunas. What do you mean by this? Because before they had already told tasting nice or not tasting nice. Or they have told also a lot or less. So what do you mean having gunas and not having gunas? Here we have to remember that in our dharma we don't eat like animals. There is something called samskara for what we eat. So whether it has been cooked in proper shaucha and all of that or not, or whether it is not like that or not, I don't pay attention to that. That is what is being told here. Bahugunam means in madi you have cooked, you have not used any nishiddha padarthas, you have not, some people have that habit of eating while cooking. That is very wrong. You should not do that. The entire thing becomes ucheshta. Especially if you have called a guest home, you should not taste before feeding the guest. That is also very wrong. All of these qualities that are supposed to be followed as per sadachara while cooking, if food is cooked like that, it is bahugunopetam. Reverse is gunahinam. So regardless of how it is, I don't mind. Note, that is why I am saying all of these are the qualities of an Avadhūta. These do not apply to a sannyasi. A sannyasi cannot say, let them feed me whatever I want. I am beyond all of this. Means the sannyasi, if he is following the sannyasa dharma, madi and etc. apply. He should eat properly. Sannyasi cannot go to the pani puri shop and say, give me 5. He should not say that, right? This is only for the Avadhūta who is saying, I am not going to pay attention to vidhi nishedha. If you are saying, I am going to be acting as a sannyasi, then you have to follow the dharmas of sannyasa ashrama. That is why we are keeping in mind that this is the Avadhūta prakarana. We started by talking about a sannyasi and now we have shifted into talking about the Avadhūta. So that is what is there here. So this is when it comes to food. Shraddhayopahritam kvapi kadachin manavarjitam. Whether people bring me food with lots of respect or whether they throw it at me. That also I don't mind. Vase kshaudam dukulam ajinam chiram valkalamevacha. Sometimes if I get nice clothes, I will wear nice clothes. Kshaudam means silk. If I get silk, I will wear silk. Otherwise, I will wear animal skin or valkala, made out of tree bark. Whatever is there, I will wear. Vasenyadapi sampraptam dishtabhuk tushtadhihi aham. Dishtabhuk, I experience whatever fate. Dishtam is fate. Whatever fate puts in front of me, I experience that. Usually that is the main theme throughout. The point of saying all of these options is saying that whatever fate puts in front of me, I take that. Rathe bhashvaischare kvapi digvasa grahavadvibho kvachit snato analiptangaha suvasa sadvilankritaha. Sometimes I will take bath, wear nice clothes, wear a mala and go in the chariot or sometimes even on an elephant. Where he will get an elephant from, I don't know. But Radhe Ashwaihi, on a chariot, on an elephant, on a horse, sometimes I will go. Sometimes Digvasaha, nothing is there. And Grahavat means Dayyam Pattinattu, is in Telugu, right? As if he is overcome by some bhuta. As if he is possessed by some spirit, he will roam around. Sometimes I am like this, sometimes I am like that. Whatever comes my way. Then Kvachit Shaye Dharopasthe Trunaparnashma Bhasmasu. Sometimes they sleep on the ground or in dirt or in ash or on grass. Kvachit Prasada Paryanke Kashipova Parechaya means here para means Ishvara. If Ishvara's will is like that, then otherwise I will sleep on some mattress. Kashipo means on a bed. Or Prasada Paryanke on the top floor of some building. I will sleep there also. Now this is important. Naham ninde nachastomi svabhava vishamam janam. I do not chastise people because they are svabhava vishama. They do not have a singular stable personality. The populace, the society always has a very volatile personality. So even though they are like that, nahi ninde nachastomi. I don't particularly praise anyone, nor do I chastise anyone. Najastami Svabhava Vishanam Janam. Now we get a question. He praised Prahlāda so nicely 5 shlokas ago. 10 shlokas ago he praised him so nicely. You are Aryavritta, you are dear to Narayana, therefore you are a jñānī, you know everything. And what is that and what is this? Here we have 2 answers. First of all, with Prahlāda that is not praise. It is a statement of fact. You are like this. The second thing is, this is one more thing that we see here that when an Avadhūta speaks, it is very different from how an Avadhūta acts. Because the Avadhūta is beyond the three gunas, so he can do whatever he wants. Nowhere you can check all 18 Puranas and Dharma Shastras, you will never see an Avadhūta do an Upadesha to a Shishya saying you can also transgress Dharma. This will never happen. This will never happen. So here, when he is saying I don't praise anyone, I don't chastise anyone, he is also saying that is how I am in public. Now I am teaching you. Teaching is different, public thing is different. That is why when he is talking about the Madhukara and the Sarpa, that is a lesson. Right? Or when he is talking about how you should seek out happiness and all, that is a lesson. That is what he said, right? Yogyaihi kamaihi. Otherwise, what is the point to say that experiences that are dharmic? You can say whatever experiences, right? Because the Guru, though the Guru may be an Avadhūta, still recognizes that the Shishya is not. So the Shishya is very much bound by the limits of Dharma and Adharma. Nowhere does an Avadhūta instruct his Shishya to transgress those. Right, as I said in the beginning, this one thing is there today where every Tom, Dick and Harry is being called an Avadhūta. A very simple meter stick is because we can test their jñāna. One thing is we can see their behavior, if they are actually behaving with so much vairagya or not. One more simple test is what are they teaching? When Shishyas come to them, what are they teaching? Are they teaching there is no punya, there is no papa, you do whatever you want, who are you, your Atma, nothing will touch you, you can eat whatever you want, sleep whatever you want, do whatever you want. If they are teaching this, clearly not an Avadhūta, because no Avadhūta in our Shastras has ever done this. Right? No Avadhūta, one more thing, no Avadhūta has ever strayed outside the Hindu fold. Right? Avadhūta is still a part of Sanatana Dharma. So in the name of Avadhūta saying, we will bring foreign things into India, we will bring foreign influences into India, or we will mix up Sanatana Dharma with other religions, also not something that an Avadhūta has ever done. That is why this next shloka is there. That is why I am telling this shloka. Nahi ninde nacha staumi svabhava vishamam janam. I do not chastise anyone, but then what feelings do you have to them? Etesham sveya ashase uta aikatmyam mahatmani. Here Mahatmani, the Vyakyakara has written Vishnu, means whose Atma is all pervading is Mahatma. So Vishnu aikatmyam ashamse. I pray in my heart that at some point all of these people, regardless of how they are, they should get Vishnu Sayujya. They should become merge, not go to Vishnu's loka, not sit in a seat next to him, not press his feet. Vishnuna aikatmyam. I want them to merge into that. I don't want them to even get Salokya or Sarupya. I want them to get Kaivalya. I want them to get Sayujya. That is what I seek them. That is why Etesham Shreyaha Ashase. I seek Shreyas for them. We all know very well that in Sanatana Dharma, Shreyas means Dharma Marga. Nothing else is called Shreyas. So in my heart, I pray that everybody follows the Dharma Marga and in due course of time they get Kaivalya with Mahavishnu. That is what I wish. So even if you are an Avadhūta, this should be the feeling that you have. You can replace Mahavishnu with Shiva or Ganesha or Devi. You cannot put other names there. As I said yesterday, the names and the formula that the Rishis have seen are what we should be following in dhyana. So that is why that thing is also there. Vikalpam juhiyat chittau tau manasyartha vibhrame mano vaikarike hutva tam mayayam juhotyano atmanabhuto tam mayam. So here again he is telling a sequence of how the sadhaka should be. The first thing is vikalpa. Vikalpa means likes and dislikes. Vikalpa juhuyat means juhoti. You should do ahuti of this. That is to say, you should get rid of this through a chittav. Chittihi. This is a saptami bhakti. Chittav does not mean chittaha chittav, because chitta is napunsakilinga. It will chitte. So chittav means chittihi. The thin pratyaya, bhavartha pratyaya. Chittav means in the manovritti. You should get rid of ragadveshas in your manovritti itself. Tau manasyartha vibhrame. The manas is given one title called Artha Vibhrama. It keeps thinking that there are many padarthas in front of it. Artha Rupaha Vibhramaha Yasya Tata Artha Vibhramam Manaha. That mind which keeps saying this padartha is there, that padartha is there, this padartha is useful, that padartha is useful. This kind of raga dvesha you should fold back up into the manas. And then where should you put the manas? Mano Vaikarike Hutva. Manaha Vaikarike Hutva means there they have written Vaikarike Ahankare. Right? Basically how this has come. How does it come? Moola Prakriti, Mahata, Ahankara, Manas, that is the sequence, right? So basically you put that back into its root, which is Ahankara. First of all, that feeling of I-ness, that I exist as a body or as a jiva, that Ahankara. Then this also you have to fold up and put, where Mayayam, Tam Mayayam Juhotyano, that you put back into Prakriti. All these feelings of Ahankara and all are all coming due to Prakriti. There is no feeling of I-ness that is separate from Prakriti. Where should you put Prakriti? Atmanabhuta tammayam juhuyat. When you experience the Atma, Prakriti will not remain. So that way you go from seeing vastus that you have raga dveshas for until the Atma Sakshatkara. Very simply told, obviously much harder to do. Atmanabhuto tanmayam juhuyat satyadrim munihi. A muni. Muni means maunan munihi. He who does not feel the need to speak much. Speaking much means engage with the world too much. Such a person who is satyadrik, he is seeing Paramatma only. Such a person tato niriho viramet. Therefore, without any desire, he should abstain from action, from all kinds of shilota karmas, etc. And then what? Viramet svanubhutya atmani sthitaha. He should experience the Atma as himself. That is the only thing that he has to do. Nothing else is there. Swatma vrittam nayethamte suguptamapi varnitam. So this nature of, here Atma vritta means not that Paramatma, my pravritti. The way that I act, I have described to you. That I eat whatever comes, I wear whatever comes, I do whatever happens. All of this I have done. I have told this to you, this is a rahasya. Rahasya means in a book, it is printed. So many copies have also been printed. Rahasya means that which is not easy to understand. That is what rahasya. Even when Krishna says in Gita, right? Idam tu te guhyatamam. Guhyatamam means if guhya, then why is he publicly stating it? Guhya means it is hard to understand. Just as a secret is hard to understand for someone who has not heard it, in the same way, even if it is told, this is hard to understand. So Dattātreya's pravritti, his actions, or the actions of an Avadhūta, are not something that we can easily categorize. These are things that we cannot, will not understand, unless you are an Atmajnāni, the way that Dattātreya has described. So he is clearly telling, Vyapetam Loka Shastrabhyam. I don't follow any of the rules and regulations that the world follows or that the Shastra imposes. Loka Vyavahara is whatever laws and these things that humans have put for themselves, or Loka Maryada, whatever general codes of conduct that the world has put. Not Shastra doesn't have to tell it, but the human society itself has assumed some rules for the sake of action. So Loka Shastrabhyam Vyapetam Atmavrittam. He stated clearly that I am not following any of the rules that humans have set for themselves or that Shastra sets. We cannot say that this is applicable to us. This is for the Avadhūta. Vyapetam Loka Shastrabhyam Bhavan hi Bhāgavata Purāṇa. Why are you telling he? He means because. Tasmat yato hi. Why are, if it is so rahasya and it is not even in accordance with any of this, then why are you telling me? Bhavan hi Bhāgavata Purāṇa. You are also a jñānī. You have completely surrendered to Bhagavan. Therefore, you have the chance of understanding. There is a chance that you will understand what I am saying. Bhavani Bhagavad Paraha. So, thus, Narada Uvacha. Dharmam Paramahamsyam Vai Muneshritva Asureshwaraha. Asureshwara Prahlāda heard Paramahamsya Dharma. This is a technical term. Paramahamsya means, sannyasis are four kinds. Kutichaka, Bahudaka, Hamsa and Paramahamsa. Vidyaranyaka Swami writes this clearly in Jivan Mukti Viveka. It is there in the Shastras also. Those who have Tīvra Vairagya become Kutichakas and Bahudas. Those who have Tīvra Tara Vairagya become Hamsas and Paramahamsas. These Kutichaka and Bahudas are Tridandis. Paramahamsas and Hamsas are Ekadandis. The Paramahamsa does not even need a danda, is what he has written. Why we will see? Because the danda is indispensable for a sannyasi. But then why does he say that the Paramahamsa does not need a danda? We will see that. Kutichaka means someone who sits in a hut. Kuti is a hut. He sits there. Why? Yatra Dhyashakti Shaktibhyam. He is unable to travel. This Grameka Vasaha that they have told in the beginning that you should be in one place for one night and not stay longer. He is unable to do that. Either due to age or health or something. He is not able to do that. So he will stay in one place. Bahudashcha. Udaka is water. He visits many bodies of water. Many tirthas, Ganga, Yamuna, Godavari, Krishna, Kaveri. He will roam all of this. These two are Ubhaveto, Tridandi now. These two are Tridandis. Then higher is the Ekadandi. Wherein Hamsaha and Paramahamsaha. What is the difference? Talloke tattvavid hamsaha, lokesmin parahamsakaha. Someone who is in the jñāna marga but will get jñāna only after going to Brahmaloka. Because if you have gone far enough in the jñāna marga, you leave your body here, you will go to Brahmaloka. There Brahma will give you Atmapadesha and there you get moksha. That is one sequence. This is called Krama Mukti. Someone who goes through this, that is to say, he is a sadhaka, he has gone very far in the jñāna marga, but he is not a Jivan Mukta. Basically, non-Jivan Muktas are all counted as Hamsas. Jivan Muktas are Paramahamsas. Lokesmin Parahamsakaha. Someone who is a Jivan Mukta here and now is a Paramahamsa. Which is why even if the Paramahamsa lets go of danda, it's okay. Because the danda rule applies to whom? Someone who still feels that I am a sannyasi. If you don't have that Deha Vimana, then the rules will not apply. Now then, why do the Jagaramana Pitha, Shankaracharya still hold dandas and all? They are all Paramahamsa Parivrajakacharyas. We are saying that because they are standing as the model sannyasi. They are supposed to be setting an example for all sannyasis across India. So they will not let go of any such rules. They will go everywhere with the danda. That is not compromised on at all. So for that reason, that Paramahamsa is basically a Jivan Mukta for whom Vidhi Nishadhas don't apply. He can act as a sannyasi, which is what Vidyaranyana is described later on. He can also be an Avadhūta. Dhūta means to push away. Avadhūta means all codes of conduct, rules, regulations that apply to the body have been pushed away alongside the body. That is why he is called an Avadhūta. So that is that Avadhūta Lakshana Paramahamsya has been talked about here. So Dharmam Paramahamsyam Vai Muneha Shrutva. From the Muni he has heard Asureshwaraha. Pujayitva. He has respected him nicely. Pujayitva Tataf Pritaha Amantriya. Amantriya Prayayo. Amantriya Prayayo Graham. Amantriya means given an invitation. If possible, please come home once. Yes, you should say that with Maryada when you see a Mahapurusha. So Pujayitva Amantriya. If possible, please make our house pure. Obviously he won't come, but anyhow you have to ask. And he Prayayo Graham. Pritaha. Very happy with this knowledge that he has acquired. Prayayo Graham. And that is where this Śrīmad Bhāgavata Purāṇa 7th Skandha Yudhishthira Narada Samvade Yeti Dharme Trayodasho Adhyāyah. Okay. So these are all the qualities of an Avadhūta. That is why we have taken so much time. What is the state of someone, to summarize, what is the state of someone who has transcended the three gunas? That is what is done. Nistre gunne pathi vicharatam ko vidhi ko nishedha. When you are walking a path that is outside the three gunas, what vidhis and nishedhas are there? Vidhi nishedhas are given by Shastra. Trigunna Vishaya Vedaha. The Shastras will only give rules to that which is in the three gunas in Prakriti. If you are beyond that, then who will give you a dictum? So that state of an Avadhūta, as long as the path of Vichara that is needed to get there, as well as why the Avadhūta does what he does. That is why it is told even later, after the Rasa Krida, Shuka Maharshi tells, just because Krishna did Rasa Krida does not mean that you can do Rasa Krida. Because the qualities, Tejasvinam Charitram, the qualities of those people who are Atmajñānis are very different. Yatha Rudrobdhiram Visham. Because Shiva, if you are saying I will do Rasa Krida because Krishna did Rasa Krida, will you also drink poison because Shiva drank poison? Immediately we will start shaking our head. So the prerequisite for doing Rasa Krida is being able to drink Hala Hala. If you first drink Hala Hala, and then you can do whatever you want. Right? So the point is that the Charitra of Mahatmas, of Atmajñānis, of these Avadhūtas, are not things that we can apply to ourselves. That is actually the secondary point of the Adhyaya is this. One point is showing us how happy a jñāni is, such that we should also aspire to be that, and how we got there. And also the intense vairagya that he has are all lessons to us. The vairagya, the way he approaches the world, the way he categorizes the karmas and the efforts that we make and the desires that we have, the wealth that we seek to accrue, the way he sees all of this is a lesson to us. His actions are for him and movable by him alone. They are not something that we can understand. They are not something that we should imitate. But it is nonetheless a most exalted state, which is why Dattātreya is worshipped across India by all sampradayas. Shaivas worship him, Smartas worship him, Vaishnavas worship him, everybody worships him. In Sri Vidya he is one of the main mantra drashtas for Devi. In Shaivas also, in Shaivagamas also he has a particular stance. In Vaishnavagamas he is very prominent. Anyhow for us Smartas he is Trimurti Atmaka and the foremost Guru. So this is the Upadesha that very special because Dattātreya himself is telling someone like Prahlāda what his state is. Right? It is a very rare, we can see other people describe Dattātreya, we can see stotras to Dattātreya, but Dattātreya is saying this is my tattva, this is my nature, this is how I act, this is how I behave. That is a speciality in its own. Just as how in Bhagavad Gita when Krishna says this is why I do this is why I do this, just as we get some inspiration from that saying, wow, Bhagavan is so beautifully acting for our sake, though being beyond everything else. The same kind of Ashcharya and Anubhava we'll have here, that he is beyond everything and yet he is taking the time to do Upadesha for Prahlāda. Though he doesn't have to do anything, he is still taking the time for that. And see how nicely Dattātreya spoke. Did he speak curtly anywhere? Did he speak rudely anywhere? Did he speak harshly anywhere? Did he stray from propriety anywhere? So I am reminding you that an Avadhūta is an Avadhūta to himself. Whenever he seeks to teach, he is very much a Guru who enforces the Shreya Marga on the Shishya, which is only the Marga that the Shastras and Loka Maryadas put. So although he is not bound, he will enforce that on the Shishya because only through that the Shishya will come out. Right? Just as we said in the beginning, just as if you want fire, you need wood. But the fire will burn the wood in the end. So in the same way, if you want to get rid of karma, you first have to do karma, then if you do enough, chitta shuddhi will come, jnana will come, that jnana will burn the karma. That is the path. The guru is at the end of the path. He cannot prescribe his actions to the person who is at the beginning of the path. So what he does is, he shows his path and he tells the Shishya, you start there. So that is what Dattātreya Swami has done so nicely. Here, this Upanyasa is a teaser trailer for the afternoon's Upanyasa. That is how I structured it. So here, we have seen the result of Dattatreya's action. What did he learn? Learn means for Loka Vyavahara as a Leela. What did he say that he learned such that he became this? Those 24 gurus, what he learned from them, all of that is described in the 11th Skandha. So that will be the session that we finish with post lunch. With this, I'll take my leave here.